Welcome back to me making sure the stream is working. Bear with me for a moment while I make sure you're getting audio. Yep. Alright, perfect. So, welcome back to Hakuoki, Stories of the Shinsengumi. This is itsavgbltpta, which stands for I totally suck at video games but love to play them anyway. It's really hard to suck at playing visual novels though, so there's that at least. Last week we beat Harada's route, so this week we're going to throw headphones to the ground and then play the stories route, which is exclusive or something new for the PS3 version. It kind of starts out like the regular game and you get to choose responses for people. If you've been watching, cool, then you know how this goes. If you're just watching this video randomly, hi. And essentially, I'm gonna, because I like voicing random narration, I'm gonna narrate the parts that aren't voiced, but I will leave all the Japanese narration to themselves because those boys have some pretty voices. And there's some minimal commentary when I just have things I want to say, because that's just how I roll. Anyway, we're gonna leave the name as Chizuru. Yes. I'm gonna clear the throat of Starburst that I just ate. Alright, Hakuoki Stories instructions. You've just unlocked Hakuoki Stories. Yay! In this section, you are the one to determine the course of the story. I've never played this part, by the way. The one time I ever played Hakuoki before was on PSP, and I only beat one route, so this is exciting! There's only one event available at the start, but as you advance through the game, more will be unlocked. This is really slow loading instructions. You are also able to view chapter summaries for Hakuoki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom here. I guess that's the name of the regular game. There may be a little something special that happens once all of the stories have been played. Well, that's not going to happen because I haven't played through the other routes of the other characters. Scattered throughout each additional event are cherry blossom petals. The cherry blossoms will begin to bud on the ephemera tree after a set number of petals have been obtained and eventually bloom. Okay. More selections will appear as the blossoms bloom further, and special bonuses will pop up. However, you can only obtain each cherry blossom petal once. Replaying an event a second time will not add more petals to the tree. Please enjoy the numerous stories here. Another section of importance is the encyclopedia. Ugh. Here's where you can learn more about each character or pertinent terminology. Each column with new terms that appeared in-game will be displayed in red, as will each term itself for easy locating. When you find a new term, press the down button to view the description. I'm not gonna do that. If there's more than one red term in the encyclopedia, you can press L1 or R1 to go straight to the next one. Press the O button, or circle button, whatever you want to call it, to close the description window and return to the main game. Circle button. I don't know why I said O there. My bad. This is the end of the Hakuoki Stories instructions. Thank you. This is a work of fiction, but some elements draw inspiration from certain historical figures and events, like the actual Shinsengumi. Alright, what do we got? I mean, there is a lot of time that is unaccounted for in the main game. Like, it skips like to a year later and shit like that, so maybe these kind of fill in those gaps, which would be pretty cool. Okay. That was anticlimactic. Prologue! Okay. January 1864, the protagonist sets out for Kyoto in search of her missing father. Once there, she encounters several bloodthirsty Shinsengumi soldiers who kill a group of ronin. Hijikata and some of the captains take the protagonist back to Shinsengumi headquarters to ensure she won't reveal their secret. Oh wait, sorry, my bad. Wait, are these just the summaries? Where do I get to... Oh, I get to play here. Okay, so... We're not going to be in January. The Shinsengumi discuss what to do with the protagonist now that she knows something of their secrets. They choose to spare her life and keep her under their supervision when they discover she is the daughter of Dr. Kodo, whom they have been searching for as well. February. The protagonist is forced to remain in disguise as a boy. She eventually grows used to life with the strange warriors of the Shinsengumi. One night during dinner, the protagonist and the captains learn that Sannan has been injured during his trip to Osaka. Ta-da-da! Wait. Yay, start the story from this chapter. In April, the protagonist has been living with the Shinsengumi for 3 months when members of the Watch are alerted to her presence so that they could begin their search for Kodo. Yes.
いいか、逃げるなよ。背を向ければ切る。
His sword point was at my throat, his gaze going right through me. I still remember the feeling of death just inches away, and how I shivered. The moonlight shone on his face, and the only thought I could muster was that he looked beautiful. It felt like he was a cherry blossom blooming out of season. January 18... We did this already. That's fine. The night I met them, the moon was huge and bright. I had come to Kyoto looking for my father at a time when the city was in political upheaval. A good number of patriots were arguing over who they should follow, the emperor and his imperial court, or the shogun and the shogunate. The regular civilians of the city were also terrified of the cruel men of the Shinsengumi, who even samurai thought twice about crossing. That night, in a dark alley I blindly ran into, I stumbled upon a tiny bit of their secret. They took me into custody then, and I had no choice but to prepare myself for my premature end. Would they think it necessary to kill me to keep my mouth shut? I was sure my fate was soon end in death. I was sure my fate was to soon end in death when an unexpected connection came to light. The Shinsengumi had been working with my father, Kodo Yukimura, a Dutch-educated doctor who specialized in Western medicine. They were also searching for him, just like I had been attempting to do. Our goals were the same. The Shinsengumi ultimately decided to keep me close at hand in hopes that I could help find him. However, since I'd accidentally uncovered things they wanted hidden, I was an unexpected variable and a threat. There was no guarantee that I'd actually prove useful, and I held no loyalties to them, so I could end up betraying them. They placed me under what amounted to house arrest in their headquarters, and limited the areas I was allowed to explore. Is my father safe wherever he is? I wonder if I'll ever see him again. Now that I'd been more or less captured by this group of ruthless men, what would happen to me? Days passed agonizingly slowly. Each morning increased my impatience until I couldn't take it any longer. April 1864. Then one day, my relationship with the men hit a turning point. What occurred was really nothing much of note, but the noose I'd felt constantly around my neck subsequently seemed a little looser afterward. This is what happened that day. Thank you. Shinsengumi Adventures, Part 1! Squeaky Water Bottle, Part 1. April 1864. It felt as if I was being swallowed by an impenetrable darkness. Somewhere in my mind I knew that this was just a nightmare. Even so, the fear was overwhelming. I wanted to run, but the darkness was pulling me under. Help me! All I wanted was to go back to my simple, ordinary life. But I could see no hands extended. No one wanted to help me. I was drowning in despair, my consciousness fading. But then... Are these not voiced? A voice called out. I reached out in the direction of the light, trying to wake myself up from the dream. The bright morning light made me dizzy. I sighed, relieved that I managed to escape the dark terror of my dream. A voice spoke up next to my ear. Are these really not voiced? I cannot voice the handsome men of the Shinsengumi. I refuse to. It sounded annoyed, and my wits scrambled to clear. Oh, never mind, they're not voiced because they're saying her name. And this is not a cool enough one to have them record the basic name, default name. Okay, sorry. Hopefully it's voiced then. As my eyes finally adjusted to the light, I could see what was directly in front of me. Oh! A man with a small grin dancing on his lips was leaning over and staring into my face. That smile was more than a little sharp. My heart started pounding rapidly, as if my body sensed danger.
目が覚めたなら覚めたで、さっさと起きてくれないかな。
He was very blunt, and I got the feeling I was like a pointless duty he couldn't wait to finish. He was obviously irritated with me, but my head was still having trouble focusing on details. My blank look only served to make him grow more annoyed.
君、自分の立場分かってる？ここに居候してる身分なんだから、せめて起床時間くらい守ってよ。
I stared unblinkingly at his face, so close to mine. You're Okita, right?
おっしゃる通り、沖田総司です。まだ脳みそが眠ってるの？僕だって暇じゃないんだよ。いい加減にしてくれないかな。
Oh, that's right. He was Soji Okita, captain of the 1st Division. The impression I got of him from that first night hadn't changed one bit since then. He frightened me. His eyes were always cold, but he laughs as if he's enjoying himself, even when discussing taking someone's life. And this man was currently holding me in his gaze and grumbling at me bitterly.
今日の炊事当番って君だよね。君が布団から出てこないようだと、朝ごはんの準備は間に合わない。そしたら、温厚な僕はともかくとして、心の狭い人たちが怒り狂うだろうね。
Dot dot dot. The dreaded ah. Ah! I jumped out of bed, completely awake.
おはよう。君って意外と寝起き悪いんだね。
Oh, I'm really sorry. My ears burned. How could I have slept so late? And I bowed deeply in apology as he moved to exit the room. It seemed like all I ever did was cause trouble for everyone.
別に反省しなくていいよ。君のせいで僕が手間取ったのはもう変わらないことなんだし。
I'm sorry. His words were definitely harsh, but I couldn't refute them, so I just apologized a second time. He stopped in his tracks and sighed, then turned his head to look back at me.
君はただでさえ厄介者なんだから、少しくらい役に立ってくれないと。
So mean.
邪魔にしかならないようだったら、豚書に置いてあげる意味がないよ。
Dot dot dot. He was right. They let me live only because they decided that I was valuable in the search for my father. If they suddenly deemed me unnecessary, I was sure they'd kill me without even batting an eye.
僕は勝手場に行ってるから、さっさと準備してきてよ。
Right, I'll come as soon as I can. The second he left the room, I began dressing in haste. I need to hurry so I can help make breakfast for everyone. I wanted to curl up into a little ball and berate myself for oversleeping, but I really didn't have the time. I had to make more of an effort to be useful around here, so I didn't do something so foolish again. I'm sorry for being late! I entered the kitchen as quickly as I could, making sure to watch that dust didn't kick up from my nearly panicked dash. Inside was Okita and...
Yukimura, 大声を出すな。
A man stood tying back his kimono sleeves as he stared at the pot with a serious expression. He was Hajime Saito, captain of the 3rd Division. He didn't even glance up as he quietly rebuked me.
大使の中には夜遅くまで巡察に当たっていた者もいる。せめて起床時間になるまでは彼らを寝かせておいてやりたい。
I didn't realize. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble.
謝る必要はないだろう。今度は気をつけてほしいと思うが、迷惑をかけられた覚えなどない。
But it was my job to prepare breakfast this morning, and I overslept. Saito pulled his contemplative gaze from the pot to look at me, an indifferent expression on his face.
どうやら誤解しているようだな。あんたの行動には何の影響力もない。
Huh?
あんたが手伝わなければ、俺たちは朝食を作れないとでも思っているのか。日常の炊事は大使が行う。俺たちがあんたに期待するのは、行動さん探しへの助力だけだ。
Dot dot dot. So then, according to them, I was pretty much just a useless burden they had to put up with until we began searching for my father. I'm sure he meant to console me, but instead his words just hurt even more. The night I stumbled upon the Shinsengumi's secrets, Saito was completely indifferent. He would never take pity on me for any reason, and willingly draw his sword on me whenever he was ordered to. I'm sorry. Guilt welled up inside. I could only apologize for being there and making them take care of me, even though they didn't want to do such a thing in the first place. But, I'd still like to help out if that's okay. I want to be useful somehow if I can. I don't want to die. Saito undid the tie holding back his sleeves and finally focused all of his attention on me.
雑用もできない居候なら新選組のために殺すしかないとでも言われたのか
Yes. I gave a small nod and Saito sighed heavily.
掃除嘘を教えるな雪村光道を見つける必要がある以上寝坊した程度では殺せんだろう
Then Okita stood up from his task of checking the level of the fire and turned towards Saito.
まあそうなんだけどさ、寝坊くらいで殺していいんなら僕だってとっくに切ってるし。でもどうせ居候してるなら僕たちの役に立ってくれた方がここに置く意味があるかなって。
余計な気は回さなくていい。それともう少し火を強くしてくれ。
はーい。
The men went back to swiftly making breakfast while I stood there gaping. I wasn't sure I really trusted either one of them, and perhaps because of that, their words confused me. It felt like they were having fun at my expense when I was taking what they said to heart. So, is there something I can help you with here?
雪村は汁物を仕上げてくれ。味噌の場所は知っているな。
Yes. I'd been put in charge of making food a few times already, so I knew my way around fairly well. My nerves settled once I was given a task to do, and I took the cue from the others and quickly got to work. I think it's ready. The leaders and captains of the Shinsengumi were all from Edo like me. I wasn't sure what kind of flavoring and spices people used in Kyoto, but there hadn't been any complaints about the way I made the dishes so far. I was secretly pleased about that, so I didn't really mind being placed on food duty.
よし、これで朝食は完成だ。あんたは盛り付け終わった前から広間の方へ運んでいってくれ。
Right. I stepped carefully out of the kitchen, keeping an eye on the soup so it wouldn't spill. Only the leaders of the Shinsengumi would be eating in the hall at this time. Because the regular warriors had no idea about the real reason I was there, I had to take my meals with the leaders. It wasn't the most pleasant of atmospheres, but it was better than trying not to reveal myself to the others. It was with those thoughts running through my head that I walked down the hallway.
What?
Almost before I noticed the sliding door next to me had opened suddenly, someone popped into my line of sight. That was an awkward sentence. I apologize. Ah! I bumped into the person entering the hallway, and the tray I'd held carefully rattled from the force of contact and leapt out of my hands. I couldn't let anything happen to the food. I dove for the dishes, but I couldn't keep my balance. I wobbled. No, I'm going to fall! I could just see it, the dishes shattering into millions of pieces and the food thrown everywhere. I would, of course, fall square on top of the mess. I closed my eyes, afraid to see how it'd turn out.
熱っ！味噌汁熱っ！
Huh? Instead of breaking dishes, I heard a voice I recognized. And the pain I expected didn't happen, even when I continued to wait anxiously. I cracked open an eye to look. Oh!
危ないところだったな。驚かせちまったか？
No? It took me a few seconds to gather my scrambled wits and process what exactly had just happened. The man I bumped into was Sanosuke Harada, captain of the 10th Division. And our boyfriend. He'd managed to grab onto me in the tray before I toppled, and his arms held me securely.
自分の足で立てそうか？この体勢を続けるのは結構しんどそうなんだな。
Oh, yes, of course. I nodded automatically. I didn't feel like I was about to fall over, though, with his arms wrapped around me. No strain showed on his face at all. He'd caught me with ease, regardless of his request, and I couldn't help but be impressed. I quickly got my feet under me and hurried to check the damage to the food on the tray. I lost the vegetables and the soup?
こら、慌てるな。おひたしなら無事だぜ。
What?
けど味噌汁はダメだな。ほとんど俺にかかっちまったし、残りは床にこぼれちまった。
Oh my gosh! The man laughing to himself over his predicament was Shinpachi Nagakura, captain of the 2nd Division. Apparently he'd managed to catch the plate that flew off the tray, but the soup... Thank you so much, but, did you burn yourself at all? You're all wet.
仕方ねえよ。気にするなって。ちょうど目の前に降ってきたんだ。受け止めねえ方がおかしいだろ。次から気をつけてくれりゃそれでいいさ。廊下を歩くときはもうよそ見するんじゃねえぞ。いや、なんで説教してんだ。こいつは別に悪くねえって。今のは俺が急に出てきたせいでぶつかっちまったわけだからな。
No, that's... If only I had paid attention and dodged you, then this wouldn't have happened. And you had to come and save me after all that. If you hadn't stopped me from falling, the mess in the hallway would have been so much worse.
いい子だな。
I tensed, assuming he was teasing me, but he grinned as if he was impressed.
よし。今日はその謙虚さに免じて、俺が廊下の掃除しといてやる。
What?
そんな驚くことねえだろ。味噌汁臭くなる前に井戸行って水浴びしなきゃなんねえしな。そのついでに雑巾洗うぐらい、まさに朝飯前ってやつだろ。
His offer really would help me out. I still had so much to do, but I wasn't sure I should let him do it. I was still considering when Harada chuckled and nudged me gently.
遠慮してんじゃねえって。お前、炊事当番だろ。こんなとこで油売ってないで食事の準備してろよ。
But...
なあ、それとお前が運んでる膳、俺のとこに置いといてくれ。落ちたわけじゃねえけど、盛り付けはぐちゃぐちゃだろ。俺が責任持って食っとくから。
are you sure? You don't mind?
そう、怯えんなよ。俺たちだって鬼じゃねえんだ。お前がおとなしくしてる限り手荒な真似はしねえからよ。男女体で居心地悪いだろうが、可愛い女の子が豚書に来たってみんな内心じゃ喜んでんだぜ。
Okay. Sometimes Nagakura would get a smile on his face that didn't reach his eyes. He had that smile now. I wasn't sure what to think. I started to tense up, but suddenly Harada laughed.
それは新八と平介だけだろ。
自分を抜かしてんじゃねえよ。佐野だって女の子に甘いだろ。
Harada and Nagakura were kind, and they always seemed to be looking out for me, but I still wasn't sure I could trust them. Me being here was making things complicated for everyone. Whatever I did, I always ended up being a burden. Thank you for your help. I'm going to finish preparing everything for breakfast. I bowed politely to them even though they were caught up in arguing with each other, and continued to the hall where we were to have our meal. I think I finally got everything. After numerous trips back and forth, I managed to place all the food correctly. I'm so glad I got this done before everyone came over to eat. Actually, I finished a little early. It's not time yet. What should I do now? I was grasping at straws, trying to come up with something, when suddenly...
おはようございます、雪村くん。今日も朝からご苦労様でした。
Oh, good morning. The unassuming man who offered me the quiet praise was Keisuke Sannan, the colonel of the Shinsengumi. From previous encounters with him, I determined that he was a very smart man, but I couldn't help but be nervous around him.
あくまでも君の立場は私たち新選組の客人です。なのに大使と同じ雑務まであれこれ任せてしまっています。人手不足の現状とはいえ、本当に申し訳ありません。
Oh no, that's alright. It's not like they're hard to do, and I get uneasy if I don't have something to work on.
ありがとうございます、雪村くん。そう言ってもらえると助かりますよ。こんな時は言葉だけでなく行動で感謝を示したいものですが、私はお膳運びすら手伝えません。
Oh, no, that's, Sannan had gotten gravely injured in an altercation a few months ago and subsequently lost all feeling in his left arm. Since I wasn't a warrior, there was no way I could comprehend what he was going through. His mood had been so bleak lately that the atmosphere around him seemed to darken when he spoke derisively about himself, and anyone who talked with him became depressed. But you're a colonel, right? You're too important to be doing things like
総長。それも名ばかりの響きです。刀を持つことすらできない私が新選組にいる意味など。
Sannan. His voice was full of pain and self-loathing. The sound was like a dagger to my heart. I was just an outsider. I didn't even fight like the others. I had no right to say anything, but I truly wished he'd overcome this and cheer up. Kind of a foolish thought for me to have, since there was no way I'd understand the pain he was in, but I wanted to see him happy.
おはよう、二人とも。
Good morning! His peaceful voice immediately soothed me. This man was Genzaburo Inoue, captain of the 6th Division. I could tell he was sincere in everything he did, and the intimidating aura I felt around the others wasn't present with him.
朝食の時間だっていうのに、他のみんなはどうしたんだい？
皆さんも井上さんとご一緒に日課の朝稽古をしていたのでは？私は道場から縁遠い身ですし、欠席者の有無までは存じませんが。
I never knew when Sannan's words would have bite behind them, but this time they were particularly sharp. He was very nearly snapping at the other man. Inoue paused, looking troubled, but it was only a moment before he continued speaking.
東堂君は不参加だったよ。彼は昨晩の巡察当番だったから。長倉君と原田君はずいぶん前に稽古を切り上げて母屋に戻ったはずなんだが。
Oh, I saw them. They were cleaning the hallway just a little bit ago. I last saw Okida and Saito in the kitchen, so they're probably still there. Should I go call them?
そうだな。
He crossed his arms in thought, but before he could make a decision...
お、飯は準備万端だな。さっさと食っちまおうぜ。
Nagakura poked his head around the entrance and shouted when he saw the food all set up. Harada trailed after him, nodding to me and chuckling.
廊下の後始末は終わったから心配すんなよ。
Thank you! Inoue glanced over at me and his face turned apologetic.
雪村君、申し訳ないんだが、平助の様子を見てきてくれんか。
Of course!
ああ、ついでに土方くんの部屋も確認してもらえますか。彼は昨日もずいぶん遅くまで雑務に追われていたようですから。
Okay. I wasn't sure I wanted this particular job. I nodded acceptance, and with an uneasy feeling running up my spine, I left the hall. ... My guilty conscience wouldn't let me say no whenever people asked me to do something for them, but this time I kind of regretted saying yes so quickly. To voluntarily approach Hijikata's room was something very few of the men in the Shinsengumi dared to do. Maybe I should start with checking on Heisuke first. Perhaps Hijikata would emerge from his room on his own in the meantime. Holding on to that one small hope, I turned and headed toward Heisuke's room. Heisuke, are you there? ... Heisuke, I'm coming in. It's time for I slid the door open and blinked. Yeah! Heisuke? There he was, sound asleep and completely wrapped around his futon, hair and clothing askew. He looked so happy that I didn't want to wake him, but I knew I had to. Hey, Heisuke, you need to wake up. It's time for breakfast. This was Heisuke Todo, captain of the 8th Division. His face may have looked innocent, but he'd been given the title of captain for a reason. He was a really friendly guy, and even though he appeared to be young, he was still older than me. His skill with a sword was inspiring, especially at his age. It's time to get up. Everyone's waiting for you.
ああ、うっせえな。眠いんだからほっとけって。
But you can't stay in bed.
俺は夜の巡察で疲れてんの。今日くらい寝かせてくれって。
I know you have to be really tired right now, but it's morning and... He finally looked up at me a little blearily, a frown creasing his forehead. Yes?
ここ、俺の部屋だよな。なんでお前がいるんだ？
Inoue remembered that you had the late shift, so he asked me to check up on you. You better hurry or Nagakura and Harada will take advantage of you being gone and steal your breakfast. He seemed to be processing that, still not fully awake, as he slowly got out of his bed.
もう朝飯の時間か。さっき寝たばっかって気がする。
It's only been a few hours since sunrise. You'd probably feel better if you could sleep in a while longer, but...
ああ。土方さんたちがうるさく言ってくる前に起きないとな。
The first time I met him, he easily agreed with the consensus that I should be killed. I'd come to the conclusion that he must not take life very seriously. Instead of being frightened of him, his bright and perpetually happy personality always cheered me up.
じゃ、お前は戻ってろよ。俺も支度終わったらすぐ行くから。
Got it! I nodded and turned to head out when I heard Heisuke call out after me.
おはよう。起こしてくれてありがとな。
Good morning to you too. I didn't mind doing it. Be sure to make it to breakfast before it gets cold, okay?
ああ、大急ぎで行くって。目が覚めたら腹減ってきたし。新八さんに飯取られたら生きる気力なくなっちまうしな。
On days that Hijikata was around, everyone... What? Oh, sorry. On days that Hijikata was around, everyone at least tried to behave, but when he was out, mealtime became a dangerous battlefield over food. Recalling the last time it happened brought a smile to my face as I left Heisuke's room. And now Hijikata's the only one left. It wasn't nerves I was feeling right now, but the first tendrils of fear creeping down my spine. I approached his door with great trepidation. Hijikata? ... Hijikata? ... I dared to raise my voice to call out to him, but there was still no reply. Maybe he's not here, though perhaps he just didn't hear me. I debated with myself briefly before shakily reaching out and touching my fingertips on the sliding door. If his room was empty, I'd be completely fine with that. Happy, even. Yahaha! ... My body froze. I was not seeing what I expected. Not at all. I felt like I was witnessing something incredibly rare and somehow private. He must not have heard me calling out to him from the other side of the door. If he had, he wouldn't have looked as surprised as he was right now. What? There comes the anger. I was jolted out of my stupor by his harsh tone, and I jumped. I fumbled to get an answer out. Well, it was already breakfast time. The food was getting cold, so I guess I was in a rush, but... He glared at me as my brain scrambled to come up with an answer, then sighed. No! Oh, no, it's not! Yes! I nearly tripped over my own feet to get outside as quickly as possible. Somehow my brain had been so out of it that I hadn't grasped that he'd been in the middle of changing clothes. What should I do? He must think I'm a horrible person with no manners. I couldn't deny that I had clearly been gawking at all of his exposed skin. It wasn't as if I did it on purpose. I'd just been stunned, frozen really, but I was sure it must have only appeared creepy to him. Of course, Hijikata does have a surprisingly handsome look about his face. That's not what you were looking at. I didn't mean to stare. He is very attractive, but...
何の言い訳してんだ。朝っぱらから頭でも打ったか。
She's fucking talking out loud. Ah! I spun around at his voice to find him fully dressed and clearly in a bad mood. He continued questioning me, his tone icy.
それで、お前がわざわざ俺の部屋まで来た理由を話せ。
Right, it was time for everyone to gather for breakfast and I came here to get you.
まさか、お前が自発的に俺の部屋へ来たわけじゃねえよな。
What? Yes?
ハケ、誰の差し金だ。
Someone asked me if I would. He mentioned that you had been up late working last night and he wanted to make sure you were okay. He seemed worried about you.
いや、俺に嫌がらせするついでにお前のこともいびってんだろう。わざわざ居候に鬼の副長の様子を見に行かせるなんてな。
You think so? I didn't know what to think. It was true that I was nervous to approach him alone, as he was notorious for being harsh and strict. This frightening man was Toshizo Hijikata, commander of the Shinsengumi. He had the power of life and death over all warriors under his command. A word, and they died.
トシと雪村君か。意外と珍しい組み合わせだな。
He must not have sensed the weird vibe between us, or wasn't bothered by it, as he had come down the hallway. Kondo, good morning.
はあ、おはよう、雪村君。こんなところで立ち往生とは何か問題でも起きたのか？
ちげえよ。それより近藤さん、あんたこそ何やってんだよ。もう飯の時間じゃねえか。
うん。実はな、トシ。今日は特別いい天気だろ。つい散歩がしたくなってな。朝稽古が終わってから豚舎の周りをブラブラ適当に歩き回ってきたわけなんだ。
This man with the boisterous laugh and infectious smile was Isami Kondo, chief of the Shinsengumi. He was incredibly warm-hearted. As soon as he learned of my predicament and the reason I was in Kyoto, he rushed to make sure I was taken care of. His sympathy was touching. This aspect of him, his kind and generous nature, was likely the reason why so many people wanted to work under him. He drew people to him.
少し遅かったか。みんなに迷惑をかけまいと走って帰ってきたんだが。
別にあんたらしい話だろ。さっさと飯食いに行こうぜ。
Wasting no more words, Hijikata turned his back to us and started down the hallway. Kondo moved to follow him when suddenly he stopped and looked over at me.
ああ、雪村君。確か今日の飯当番は君たちだな。
Yes, I was.
そうか。となると朝飯がますます楽しみになるな。君の料理はどこか懐かしい。お袋の味というやつだな。
The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. He grinned at me, clearly pleased with how I prepared food. It was such a little thing, nothing to get a big head about, but it felt like he wasn't saying it just to be nice. His praise made me happy.
君が来てくれてよかった。うまい飯が食えて俺は幸せだ。
Oh no, it's no trouble.
みんな塩加減が雑だからな。特に掃除のはひどいだろ。
His food is rather, bold.
トシはもっとひどいぞ。今でこそ勝手場に立たないが、昔作った雑炊なんかは。
おい、近藤さん、無駄話してんじゃねえよ。
Hijikata's command reverberated the walls, and Kondo shot up from his conspiratorial bend near my ear.
まずい。みんなを待たせているのだったな。早く広間に行かねば。
I watched his back as he ran down the hallway, and I couldn't help giggling. I'm glad you've come to stay with us. Even if he was really just referring to the food, his kind words warmed my heart and pushed my worries away.
あ、やっと来たか近藤さん。どこまで散歩に行ってたんだよ。
いやー、すまんすまん。そう遠くには行ってないんだが、道端にタンポポが咲いていてな。もう春が来たのかとしみじみ感じているうちに時間が経ってしまった。
He scratched his neck and chuckled awkwardly. All around him the men were grinning wryly.
近藤さんらしいけどよ。せっかくの飯が冷めちまう前にさっさと温度取ってくれって。
うん、そうだな。ではミラノシュ、うまい飯を食って今日もキリキリ働いてくれ。
With Kondo's cheerful little speech ended, breakfast finally started.
ところで三男さんよ、どうやら俺のことで朝から無駄に気使わせちまったらしいな。
無駄ということもありませんよ。寝起きが悪い副長を案じるのは一大使として当然のことです。
Hijikata grinned wolfishly while Sannan's glasses glinted in the light, hiding his eyes. I could almost see sparks flying between them. Some people would say that this was just the way they showed their friendship, but I wanted no part of it.
うわぁ、あのさ、おひたし作ったのって掃除？
Oh, I guess he did half?
とりあえず野菜を茹でて醤油に浸すところまでは僕がやってたんだけど、ちょっと味見したはじめくんがこれじゃ辛すぎてダメとか言って全部水洗いしちゃって。
俺は当然の処置をしたまで。塩分の取りすぎは健康を損ねる。
これはやりすぎだってはじめくん。このおひたし全然味しねえよ。
ほら、大声を出すんじゃない。雪村くんが怯えてるじゃないか。
So much had happened already this morning, and now this. I didn't know if I had the energy to make it through the rest of the day, let alone the weeks after this. But I couldn't leave. I had no choice but to live here with the Shinsengumi. When I thought about what could happen in the future, it only drove me crazy with worry, so I decided to quietly eat my meal and not think of it. I had to do my best and hope things worked out. Right, this is nothing. I can do it. I'll head off now. I finished clearing breakfast and made sure the kitchen was clean. All I had to do now was be on standby until lunch. This was how my days usually passed.
雪村くん、申し訳ありませんが少し残っていただけませんか。
Huh? But...
ええ、君も知っての通り、朝食後は私たち新選組の幹部がこの広間で会議を行います。
Wouldn't it be a problem if I was here during that time? I might hear something I shouldn't.
そんなことはありません。今日の会議はまさに君のことを話し合おうという場ですから。
What?
昨日の会議で決まったんだが、観察型に配属された大使の一部に君の事情を話すことになってね。
The Watch?
ああ、観察型は行動産探しの実動隊となってくれる部署だ。大掛かりな捜索を始める前に君のことを紹介しておかんとな。
Oh, I see. Thank you very much. It wasn't much, a small step at most, but after this we'd be able to start searching for my father. I felt hope bubbling up in my chest and couldn't help but smile.
僕は反対なんだけどな。観察型まで話を広めちゃうの。例えばあの薬の件とか。大使たちにも伏せていることまで一から説明しないといけないし。
掃除、 山崎も島田も新選組の内情を知るに足ると土方さんが見込んだ人物だ。それに光道さんを探す以上、いずれは彼女の事情についても彼らに伝えねばならんだろう。
Okita turned his head away, still unconvinced. I uncomfortably shifted my weight, unsure of what to say. I felt like if I spoke up, I'd just make things worse.
ちょうどいい機会だろ。先延ばしにする意味もねえしな。
His bark of laughter was a bit too bright to be sincere. He was likely trying to diffuse the tension.
むしろこいつが豚書に来てから今日まで3ヶ月も待たせてんだ。もう動き出す頃合いだろ
う。あ、そんないいことしたら俺らが怠けてたみたいじゃん。
He quickly looked at me, an earnest expression on his face.
一応言っとくけどな、俺らも光道さんの足取りはいろいろ調べてたんだぜ。
You have? It never got brought up, in my hearing anyway, so I had assumed that nothing had been done since I came to stay with them. To hear that they had been looking...
俺ら新選組にとっても光道さんが早く見つかるに越したことはねえからな。
Thank you, all of you, for looking for my father. I realized I never truly thanked them for doing all of this for me, so I quickly bowed my head and blurted out the words.
別に礼を言われることじゃねえよ。俺らは俺らの都合で動いてるだけだし。
He scratched his nose but gave me a warm smile. Nagakura finally spoke up, his eyes narrowed and his voice cool.
掃除が懸念すんのもわかるぜ。いつ始末するか知れねえようなこの存在は内輪にも伏せときてえよな。秘密を知った人間がいたからやむを得ず豚書に拘束したものの邪魔になったから殺した。そんな事情を正直に話せばまず体内の士気が下がっちまう。彼女については伏せたまま始末した後も里に帰ったとか適当な理由をつける方がいい。
It was true. The less people knew about me and the Shinsengumi's secret, the better. It still hurt to hear that they were anticipating my death at their hands and preparing for the explanations afterward.
けど今回の件は俺らが全員で話し合って決めたことじゃねえか。今さらぐちぐち文句言ってんなよ。
まあね、僕も根っこではちゃんと納得してるんだけど、やっぱり不満は不満で。
失礼します。
A voice I didn't recognize spoke up from the other side of the door. It must have been one of the men from the watch. The others told me were coming.
島田、山崎、両名参りました。
I remember Yamazaki. I don't remember Shimada.
よし、入れ。
Oh, I do remember Shimada. Two warriors walked into the room, and when they spotted me, they bowed in greeting.
観察型所属、島田海と申します。以後、お見知りおきください。
The first man to speak was large and burly. Even though his size should have been intimidating, he looked very kind.
観察方所属、山崎進。
How come he gets voice motions and the other guy doesn't? His gaze was sharp and piercing as he quickly looked me over, his expression unreadable. I had no doubt that this man was incredibly perceptive and didn't miss a thing.
すでに聞いていると思うが、君たち観察方には雪村光道という乱暴医の捜索をお願いしたい。
Kondo calmly laid out all the facts for the two men, his voice smooth and authoritative.
しかし、光道さんの行方は我々があちこち手を尽くしてもさっぱりわからないままだ。情報の隠蔽には何らかの組織的な力が働いている可能性が高いのではないかと。
では、光道さんに関する情報を集めるのも骨が折れそうですな。
ああ、誘拐されちまったのか。光道さん本人の意思かは知らねえが、しばらく身を潜めてるんだろう。光道さんの動きが見えるまで藪をつついて蛇を出さねえよう警戒しながら調査を行ってくれ。
Shimada and Yamazaki both nodded.
では本題に入りましょう。 光道さんの行方を調べる上で我々には奥の手があるのです。雪村君、簡単にで構いませんから自己紹介していただけますか。
He actually just said, do a self-introduction, Jiko Shokai, like they always ask in the high school anime. He smiled encouragingly at me. I cleared my throat nervously and spoke. Hello, my name is Chizuru Yukimura. My father is Kodo Yukimura. Neither man said anything, but their surprise was nearly palpable. I was suddenly the focus of their complete attention. The urge to squirm under their scrutiny was strong, but I didn't dare move.
平太子には伝えられん話だが、新選組が光道さんを探す理由には幕府の密命が深く関与している。
Perhaps I wasn't supposed to be there. I was afraid that hearing anything about this secret would get me in trouble because they had expressly forbidden me from asking any questions. But Kondo continued speaking, making no motion to have me leave the room.
雪村君の素性を隠したまま断層で生活してもらっているのはこの情報を内外に伏せるためだ。
了解しました、局長。ところで彼女は密命に関しても全てご存知なんですか？
Hijikata brusquely shook his head. His eyes narrowed, and the commanding tone of his position entered his voice.
こいつはあくまで部外者だ。もともと幕府に属する人間でもねえし、余計なことを話すんじゃねえぞ。
At the end of it all, I was still just a temporary guest at headquarters until we learned information about my father. With the watch joining in on the search, it was possible that they would finally find something to lead us to him. As usual, they didn't really need me there. I couldn't even help, confined as I was to headquarters. All I could do was sit, wait, and feel increasingly guilty.
土方君の信頼した君たちなら大丈夫だろうとは思っていますが、この件はくれぐれも内密に。
かしこまりました、総長。副長の信頼に報いるためにも必ずや任務を果たします。
Okita heaved a sigh in the face of Yamazaki's serious declaration. His eyes were dismissive as he stared at the other man.
なんだか面倒だな。結果的に土方さんの取り巻きがまた増えるってことでしょ。
取り巻きなどという侮辱的な表現はやめてください。自分はただ純粋に土方副長を尊敬しているだけですから。
His eyes narrowed, his icy look toward Okita just shy of a glare. Okita's sideways grin edged a little sharper, and everyone in the room could feel the sudden tension in the air.
いい加減にしろ、掃除。仲間内で揉め事を起こすな。
山崎君も落ち着いてくれ。組長相手になんて態度を。
It was as if they hadn't heard a word. They continued staring, neither breaking eye contact, neither giving an inch. Hijikata grimaced and rubbed his forehead as if it suddenly pained him.
とにかく会議は終わりだ。お前らとっとと解散しろ。観察型の2人は残るよ。幕府の密命について説明する。
At Hijikata's command, all the captains said their goodbyes and filed out of the room. Inoue caught my eye and signaled that I should follow them, so I bowed and left as well. Only the leaders, Kondo, Hijikata, and Sandan, remained behind to speak to the watch. I had to admit I was curious about the top secret orders, but knowing what I did already was what got me into this. I was glad I didn't have to know any more. Sigh. The meeting had wound me up, so I returned to my room to stretch and calm my mind. It really was for the best that I wasn't a part of the discussion going on right then. The room and atmosphere had been slowly suffocating me under its weight, and I was more than glad to have left it. It's hard to believe we ate breakfast just a little while ago. I glanced at the position of the sun. Surprisingly, it was almost time for lunch. I think it's Harada's turn to prepare the food today. Warm and relaxed in the sunlight, I started daydreaming about what we might be eating later. What? A giant crash resounded and I nearly jumped out of my skin. A chorus of voices shouted from the other end of the hallway.
はじめくんそっち。
分かっている。だが目に見えたからといって捉えられるかは別の話だ。
下手な言い訳してないで、もっと気合い入れて走ろうよ。
何やってるんです、こんなところで。
What's going on out there? The commotion was making me curious, but I was still mostly restricted to my room unless I was accompanied by someone. Just a quick look would be okay, right? Maybe something horrible happened. Were we attacked? And I shouldn't stay put or I'd be in some kind of danger because I didn't know what was going on. Worry and curiosity warred in my mind until I finally gave in. I slid my door open and poked my head out just enough. I was gonna say, is it a cat? Ah! Whoa, that's a cat. That is not a happy cat.
何なんですかこの猫。もしかして沖田さんのですか。責任持って捕まえてください。
僕のじゃないってば。捕まえたいのはこっちも山々。
掃除、口論する暇があるならもっと気合を入れて走ってくれ。
The three men scrambling down the hallway, focused and completely serious, were after a cat. What's going on? The murderous and highly feared Shinsengumi, each man a deadly warrior in his own right, were playing tag with a cat. I had to still be daydreaming. I stood dumbstruck as they barreled past me, and I watched their backs until they turned the next corner. I like the music. Oh, Heisuke! His call snapped me out of my stupor, and I turned to see him trotting toward me. What was that all about? Why were they running after a cat? Did something happen?
その辺を説明するとさ、すごく長くなるんだけど、いいか？
Sure.
じゃあ作戦会議しねえとな。この部屋借りるぜ。
Nagakura? He appeared out of nowhere, startling me, and disappeared into my room almost as quickly.
俺も作戦会議に賛成。
What?
のんびりしてる暇はねえし、手早く解決しねえとな。
すまねえな。他の部屋はちょうど埋まってんだ。ここしか使えそうにねえんだよ。
I couldn't think of how to reply. My stomach churned as I watched the three of them go into my room. I had a bad feeling this wasn't going to end well, and somehow I was going to end up involved.
佐野さんとか平介とか見てない？ちょっと探してるんだけど。
They said something about figuring out a plan of attack, so they went into my room for a meeting.
作戦会議か。妙案だな。で、
Huh? I watched the two of them walk through the doorway. It wasn't as if I could tell them no, as I was only their guest, so I resigned myself to the situation. Before I could blink, there were 5 Shinsengumi captains gathered in my room. I wondered if I should beat a hasty retreat somewhere else while their meeting was going on, when suddenly...
お前も入れ。廊下に出てて他の大使どもに見つかったら面倒だろ
う。Okay. He gestured me inside and I stepped in. The once decently sized living space I spent most of my days now looked and felt a lot smaller now that it held several large male warriors. He rubbed the back of his neck and deliberately avoided looking into anyone's eyes as he continued.
昼は俺と佐野が当番だからよ。飯の準備してたんだが、そこに飛び込んできた奴が俺たちの努力を無にしやがった。勝手ばはもう大惨事だ。
Sorry. I moved and then I pushed a button. What he said made no sense. You're talking about the cat, right? It got into the kitchen? Did it do something?
勝手ばの釜やら鍋やら全部ひっくり返しやがった。もちろん中身の飯までだ。
Oh no. His mouth twisted bitterly. Both him and Nagakura looked so bleak, and that, more than their words, told me how bad the kitchen had to look.
このままじゃ今日は昼飯抜きだ。こんな時何より怖いのは。
It's not.
怒り狂う土方さんだよな。食い物を無駄にすんじゃねえって全員正座で説教されんじゃねえ。
ただのお説教で済めばいいけどね。手とか足とか刀とか出るんじゃない？
Dot dot dot. Everyone fell silent. The mood in the room turned dark. Saito's voice pierced the gloom. He spoke softly, but all of us could hear how deadly serious he was.
この件は内密に済ますべきだ。副長が余計な辛労を感じないよう俺たちで内々に始末をつけよう。
Where is he right now?
土方さんはまだ広間だな。近藤さんと三男さんと3人でなんか会議してるらしいぜ。
いかにも重要みたいな会議で神経尖らせてる時に邪魔したらどうなるか想像もつかないよね。
Dot dot dot. Again, his words caused the room to go silent. The tension was taut like a bowstring, and the air nearly hummed with it.
とにかく俺たちに手貸してくれねえか。
Huh?
急いで勝手場の後始末をして昼飯を作り直さなくちゃならねえ。もう俺たちだけじゃ無理なんだ。
But I,
頼む。平大使どもに知られてこの騒ぎが大きくなっちまう前になんとか解決してんだ。
Nagakura was nearly begging. He would have continued, but Heisuke cut him off.
勝手場も大変だけどさ、土方さんたちの方だってごまかさなきゃダメだろ。さっきのひどい物音でなんか変なことが起きてるって向こうも感づいたはずだし。
Dot dot dot. It sounded like he wanted me to help distract Hijikata and come up with some sort of excuse while they fixed everything. I didn't really appreciate how willing he was to throw me at the demon commander all of us were frightened of.
それも大事だろうけど、まずはあの猫を捕まえないと続けて被害が起きそうだよね。
ああ、それぞれに役割を分担する必要があるな。
I almost didn't want to ask the question, but I was afraid of getting in some sort of trouble. But I'm restricted to my room while I'm here. I can't leave. How can I help?
ああ、通常時であればな。しかし想定外の事件が起きれば背に腹は変えられないだろう。
What?
今は猫の手も借りたい状況だ。あんたも俺たちと働いてくれ。
My life was theirs to control while I stayed here with them, so there really was no way to say no, but I couldn't even respond. My whole body was tense and cold sweat trickled down my spine at the thought of working with them.
ま、なるようになるだろう。そんなに心配すんなって。そう気負う必要はねえから適当に何か手伝ってくれよ。
Okay. That was it then. I didn't really have a choice. I was helping them out one way or another. What should I do? No. I mean, yes. I'll go prepare lunch. I woke up late today, so I want to make up for that.
ありがとな。お前が来てくれんなら俺も新八も助かるわ。なんせ勝手場には今ダメになった飯を見ちまって怒り狂ってる人がいるしな。
Is it Inoue? There's only like one old man. Huh?
実は鍋がひっくり返った後、ゲンさんが勝手場に入ってきてよ。
It is Inoue.
なんじゃこりゃ！ってそれはもう大声で怒鳴り散らして、腰の刀抜くんじゃねえかって剣幕だったぜ、ありゃ。
What did you do?
まあとりあえず俺らは命からがら逃げてきたわけだ。
Dot dot dot. I wish they'd told me about that earlier. Now I was going to have to face him as well.
つうわけで まずゲンさんを落ち着かせてから勝手場の掃除して飯作りだな。
Okay. I tried not to get too worried as I walked with the two men toward the kitchen, but I still approached it with no little trepidation.
やっと戻ってきたか、このバチ当たりどもが。
I mean, props to the team. They actually kind of drew the kitchen messy now. The instant our feet entered the kitchen, Inoue's voice rattled the walls, intense and frightening. I had never seen him like this before.
まあゲンさん。
He raised his hands in a placating manner, his smile forced.
俺らに怒っても仕方ねえだろ。こぼれた飯が戻るわけでもなし。今はとにかく現状を打破する方法を考えねえと。
何がとにかくだ。
Suddenly it seemed like he deflated, his shoulders dropped and he sighed heavily.
現状打破するも何も、まずはこの床から掃除せんとな。
まあ安心してくれよ。こいつも掃除と昼飯の用意手伝ってくれるらしいしな。
Harada jerked his head in my direction, his voice low and soothing. He must have been still trying to calm Inoue.
4人で掃除するんだったらそう手間はかかんねえだろ。
Yes, I promise to do my best. I nodded and Harada threw a grateful smile at me.
頼もしいな。土方さんが殴り込んでくる前にさっさと片付けちまおうぜ。
Okay. Inoue suggested the floor first, but when I looked, it wasn't as bad as I'd expected. He must have started cleaning it after Harada and Nagakura left. Thanks to his forethought, it didn't take long for all of us to finish. We then moved on to the other affected areas of the kitchen. Yay!
ああ、それにしても本当にもったいない。
こぼしちまった飯は畑の肥料にでも使おうぜ。
That's a good idea. It's bad luck to waste food. We'd finally finished cleaning everything. It was like the mess never happened. We were discussing the whole thing when... Whoa! A loud sound came from the yard.
ああ、いけないんだはじめくん。絶対土方さんに怒られるよ。
今はそのようなことを議論している場合ではない。
Dot dot dot.
今のは掃除と斎藤か。あっちはあっちで大変なんだな。
Yes, sir. I suppose so. I didn't know how to reply to that exactly. It was rather obvious they were having problems, so I mumbled out something non-committal. I wonder what happened to cause that noise, though.
何か不吉な予感がするな。どれ、私が様子を見てこよう。
I decided to... Nope. Yes! If you're leaving, then I think I'll fill in for you and help Harada and Nagakura prepare for lunch.
お、心強いな雪村くん。それじゃよろしく頼むよ。
Okay. Inoue headed to the yard, and the three of us that remained turned to face each other.
で、何作るんだ。
材料も減っちまったし、勝手場に残ってるもん使って適当に作るしかねえだろ。
まあそうなんだけどな。昼飯の時間まであと少しだし、手早く作れる献立考えっか。
Now, what do you got? Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot.
で、サマ具体的にはどうすんだよ。なんか意見出せって。
んなこと言われてもな。俺も料理は得意じゃねえし、簡単にあんなんか出るかよ。
Dot dot dot. If I left the decision up to them, it was going to take forever. We'd be late for lunch at this rate. I gathered my courage and nervously spoke up. Why don't we use some of the old taro yams we have left? It would be easy to boil them. And maybe the daikon leaves are still okay enough to put in the miso soup. If we throw out some of the pickled vegetables... Yes?
前々から思ってたんだが、実は料理得意だったりする？
Oh, I don't think I'm good. I'm okay with some dishes, but that's it. I wasn't used to preparing food for so many people at once. It had always been just me and Father. The dish size increase made it difficult to determine how much seasoning was required, or how long it took to cook. I could only go with what seemed right and hope it worked.
手際が悪いってそうは見えねえけどな。
ああ、テキパキしてるし、すげえ頼もしく見えるぜ。
I would hope so.
で、俺らはどうすりゃいいんだ。まず何から作り始める？
Harada, do you mind making the broth for the miso soup?
じゃあ俺は里芋の皮でも剥いてりゃいいのか。
Yes, please. I'll help you with that too. It seemed like they were going to rely on me to take charge. I found myself blushing, but I was really happy. Nerves still made me jittery, but once we started cooking, I was able to focus and get to work. Until... Again? The crash that resounded came from the entrance this time.
そうじ。新選組の組長たる者が猫一匹捕まえられんとは情けない。
はじめくんだって僕のことばかり責められる立場じゃないと思うよ。
また掃除と斎藤の声だな。ずいぶん騒がしいじゃないか。
It sounds like they still haven't caught the cat.
あいつらを翻弄するだ。よほど逃げ上手な猫らしいな。
Nagakura and Harada both guffawed loudly, clearly entertained by the whole situation. I'm pretty sure this is the answer. Yeah. Not concerned. It was true I was a little worried, but I was sure they had things under control on their own. We had a lot to do ourselves, so I had to focus on preparing the next meal. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. The kitchen fell quiet for a while, each person focusing on finishing our assigned task.
悪い二人とも。
Huh?
さっきの気になるんで、ちょっと見に行ってくるわ。
おい、新八！
あれ、すぐ戻る。
Leaves me alone with Harada. Yeah. He's gone.
ああ、逃げやがったな。新八にも困ったもんだ。昼飯まで時間がないってのに、あれじゃ当分戻らねえだろうな。
You think so? He said he only wanted to figure out what the sound was. He should be back soon. Locating the source of the sound wouldn't take that long.
いや、どうせ新八のことだ。本気で気にしてるんじゃねえよ。
Oops, sorry. Dot dot dot. Harada chuckled bitterly. I didn't know what to say.
あいつは当番が嫌いだからな。やらされてる感じがダメなんだと。それでも普段は一応やるんだが、今日はお前がいてくれるから安心しちまってるんだろうな。
Really? He certainly dropped a lot on my shoulders. I wasn't sure if I was pleased he trusted it to me or annoyed.
まあ、二人で頑張ろうぜ。きっとなんとかなるだろう。
Okay. Nervous energy started building up in me. I was worried, but to keep the situation calm around here, we had to have everything ready on time. I dove back into peeling the gigantic pile of yams. I glanced up when I was nearly done to find Nagakura still hadn't come back. He either got caught up in helping Okita and Saito, or he really had planned to not return. I had no idea which one it was. But being down one person meant that I had to hurry up and pick up the slack.
ちょっといいか？こっちの鍋も確認してくれ。
Oh, of course! He stepped aside as I leaned over and examined the pot's contents. Okay, looks like the broth is just about ready, so now all we have to do is finish it up.
先に味噌溶いても大丈夫か？まだ具を用意してねえんだけど。
I'll take care of that then. I'm almost done with the yams.
ありがとな。味噌の分量ってどれくらいだ？
Well, the daikon leaves have plenty of moisture already. It might be better if you put in more than normal.
適当に加減してみる。 後で味見してくれるか？
Sure. He was depending on me. It was a pleasant surprise, and I realized I liked it. Suddenly he sighed and laughed ruefully, rubbing the back of his neck.
あれこれ聞いて悪い。普段だったらもっと適当にやっちまうんだが。お前の料理は評判いいし、勉強させてもらおうと思ってな。
Oh, it's no problem. I'm happy I'm able to help. Perhaps he wasn't that great at cooking? He seemed eager to improve at least. I began cutting the daikon leaves into bite-sized pieces, my mind lost in thought. I felt eyes upon me. I looked up to discover he was gazing at my hands. Something the matter?
いや、女ってのは女らしい生き物だと思ってな。
Huh?
包丁の扱い方一つとっても、俺らとお前じゃ全然違うよな。仕草がいちいち繊細で、つい見惚れちまった。
Harada leaned a little toward me, his posture and tone strangely earnest.
お前、いい嫁さんになれるぜ。
Really?
ああ、今日のお前を見てると、なんだか納得しちまったよ。
He smiled wryly, an emotion too complex for me to decipher flashing across his face.
こんなこと言っちまうと、新八か平助みてえだが。女が作る料理ってのは、やっぱり格別なんだろうな。
Thank you. I blushed, overwhelmed, and bowed my head. I'm happy you think that. A woman ensconced among the very male headquarters of the Shinsengumi was obviously considered an outsider. But Harada's words made me think that maybe he had accepted that part of me that most prohibited me from fitting in among them, my gender. Narrowing his eyes, he studied my face. He must have seen what I was thinking in my expression.
お前は新選組にいる限り、不自由な生活を強いられる。けど、逃げたら死ぬんだ。生きるためには耐え続けろ。
I'll be safe if I don't try to escape, right? Before he could reply, I could see the answer in his eyes. No, you can't guarantee that, can you?
ああ、お前が邪魔になれば殺しちまうかもしれねえな。
He didn't even blink at the words. There was no pity in his tone or expression. Strangely, I found it refreshing. I didn't want that to be the only way people thought of me.
俺らにも譲れねえ一線がある。分かってくれとは言わねえが。
His brow creased and he frowned. A moment later, his face cleared and the troubled expression replaced with a smile.
うまい飯を作るお前に、俺は心から感謝してるぜ。この気持ちには嘘偽りねえよ。あり。
I took a deep breath and looked him in the eye, my smile perilously close to cracking. I don't know how to make sure I'm doing the right thing. But I do know I don't want to die, so I promise I won't run. I had to live. My father was out there somewhere, so I had to stay alive as long as possible. But I'm glad you enjoy the food I prepare. It makes me want to keep trying my best. I may die by his hand someday. Knowing he liked my food turned my feelings about him into a complicated mess. Still, it felt like I was being useful around headquarters, and I was pleased. I thank you for that, Harada.
けなげだな。
It was uneasy praise, and somehow he looked even more troubled than before. He looked away. We both fell silent after that, choosing instead to focus on preparing lunch until Nagakura came back. I was going to live my life to the best of my ability, so they wouldn't have a reason to kill me. My resolve strengthened and focused. I looked forward to the next day. Yay, I did the thing. These are longer chapters than I thought they would be. That was like an hour. Do I even want to do another one? I'm going to do another one. Because there's only one more in this chapter, right? Ooh! And it's Harada Memories of Love! June 1864. Approximately 6 months have passed, and there is still no word of the protagonist's father. The protagonist, really? Nice. The constant threat of death has made her depressed, so Harada decides to take her outside of the compound. Are you sure? Oh yeah. I want stories of love!
ま、こんな度胸のある女、みすみす殺しちまうのはもったいないか。
He laid his hand on his sword and laughed. I didn't think he'd been entirely sure I was a woman, but clearly he'd been confident enough to make a guess. Was he testing me somehow? To see if I'd react? How was I supposed to pass? Everything about him seemed a little bit amused and aloof, but there was something there that scared me too. June 1864. Oh god, we get another summary. Alright. I'd been with the Shinsengumi about 6 months. At first, the rest of the soldiers eyed me with suspicion and distaste, but it was starting to seem like they'd grown used to my presence at Shinsengumi headquarters, and the fact that I was always around, even if I wasn't training with them. I was still under house arrest, but I was fed and I wasn't mistreated. They certainly could have treated me a good deal worse, but at the time I wasn't in a position to appreciate that very much. We were only together through circumstance. Beyond that, they had no reason to worry about my health. The possibility of help in the search for my father was enough for them to let me stay, but so far his whereabouts were as mysterious as they had been when I'd first arrived in Kyoto. What would happen to me if the Shinsengumi gave up the search? I had a terrible feeling they wouldn't just let me leave. After all, I'd seen their horrible secret. If I gave them trouble or got in their way, I had no doubt that they'd kill me in the blink of an eye. So I spent my time hidden away in my room, all too aware of the death breathing down my neck. Until one night, someone took me outside. Memories of Love, Part 1. Part 1? How many parts are there? I could look it up, but I won't. I sat in the corner of my room, watching the setting sun, and sighed. Even after months of waiting, I still hadn't been given permission to leave the compound, so all I'd see of Kyoto was what sat opposite the front door. What was my father up to, I wondered. The only thing I knew for certain was that he'd come to Kyoto for work. Unfortunately, I couldn't even go out to look for him. I'd heard the soldiers saying that some of the other ronin in the city were up to something, although they didn't know what. For the time being, all I could do was hope that my father was safe. As I watched, a bird fluttered down to land in the yard. Before I realized what I was doing, I stood up and walked toward it. Oh, he doesn't even get to say ah. Oh, Okita!
今どこかに出かけようとしてた？無断で部屋から出るなって言われてたはずだよね。
Oh, sorry. I felt myself wither under his glare and scrambled to apologize. He was unmoved.
勝手な行動をとると後ろからバッサリ切られちゃっても文句なんて言えないよ。
I am really curious to play his route to see what the hell happens.
僕たちがどうして君をここに置いてあげてるのか忘れちゃったわけじゃないよね。
His tone was light and conversational, but his words were anything but. No.
にしても近藤さんも土方さんもお人よしだよね。事情があるとはいえ君みたいな何の役にも立たない女の子をここに置いてご飯まで食べさせてあげてるんだから。
He shrugged and headed off down the hallway. It wasn't nice to hear, but he was right. I hadn't been able to help them at all. There were chores I took care of from time to time, but that was hardly important. But despite the fact that I'd been nothing but an imposition, the Shinsengumi were taking care of me, even while the inability to look for my father made me utterly useless. And they could kill me any time they wanted to. Sigh! I needed to go to sleep, but I couldn't manage to keep my eyes closed. What Okita had said to me kept echoing around in my head. How many more nights would I have to spend locked away from the world, unable to do anything? How much longer would they tolerate me? Would I go to sleep one night and never wake up? As I stared into the flickering flame of my bedroom lantern, I felt myself descending deeper and deeper into despair.
おい、いつまで起きてるんだ？
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get in bed right now. I scrambled to extinguish my lantern, but...
いや、別に叱ったわけじゃねえんだが。部屋の中入ってもいいか？
Sure, of course. The door slid softly open and Harada stepped inside.
今日はずいぶん遅くまで起きてるんだな。なんか考え事でもしてたのか？
No, I was just about to go to sleep. I couldn't tell him what had happened that afternoon, so I did my best to avoid it. Unfortunately, I must not have been very convincing since Harada just looked into my eyes for a moment and then gave me a bitter smile.
今日はやけに暗い顔してるじゃねえか。なんか嫌なことでもあったか？
No, not really.
まあ、お前みたいな若い娘が男女体に押し込められてんだし、きついだろうな、正直なとこ。だからって俺にはどうすることもできねえが、話ぐらいなら聞いてやれるぜ。言ってみろ。何があった？
He sounded so kind and earnest, I felt my heart begin to falter. They use the word earnest a lot in this game. No, I couldn't let my guard down. If I said the wrong thing, he might kill me on the spot. Harada stared down at me silently for several long moments. Then he seemed to make up his mind, nodded, and began to speak.
よし、今から外に出かけるぞ。用意しろ。
What? Out? You mean out of the room? But I can't.
いいからさっさとついてこい。お前もたまには外の空気吸いてえだろ。
Then he strode out of the room, and I didn't feel like I had any choice but to follow him. At first I thought it had to be some manner of joke, but as we left the compound, Harada showed no sign of stopping. Are you sure this is okay?
豚書の外を一周してくるぐらい平気だろ。もしお前が逃げようとしたら、そん時は切り捨てりゃいいだけのことだしな。
What could I possibly say to that? Let's find out. Thank you. It seems appropriate. I see. Thanks. He almost stumbled and turned to look at me, eyes wide.
ちょっと待て。話の流れが読めねえんだが。俺はお前を切るって言ったんだぜ。なのにどうして例の言葉が返ってくるんだ？
Well, if we get caught, you're probably going to get in trouble too, right? But you still decided to bring me out here anyway. That's what I'm thanking you for. Were you worried about me? He blinked in surprise and I saw him swallow.
まあ、確かにその通りだけどよ。物事に里い女ってのは怖えな。まだまだガキだと思ってたが、人の本質ってもんをきちんと見抜いてんだな。
Got me some ephemera. His face bent into a crooked smile. Oh no, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
おいおい、俺は一応お前のことを褒めてんだぜ。あと 4,5 年もすりゃ細かいことによく気のつくいい女になるんじゃねえかって。
He grinned as he spoke, but the way he said lady made me blush. I tried desperately to find something to look at other than his face. We kept walking for a bit, strolling around the outside of the compound.
しかし月が出てねえのは幸いだったな。おかげで土方さんたちに見つからずにこうやって豚書を抜け出せたし。
He looked up at the empty sky and then turned back toward me.
せっかく今日に来たんだし、名所でも案内してやれりゃいいんだが、騒ぎになると面倒だからよ。悪いけど今日のところはこれで勘弁してくれるか。
Sure. I nodded and looked up at the sky. I'd looked at the stars before from inside the compound, but they looked different somehow. Bigger, more spacious. The sky was so vast, nothing could ever confine it. For a long moment, I felt free. We were heading back toward the entrance when...
佐野、どこかに出かけていたのか。
I ducked back into the shadows as soon as I heard his voice. Harada casually moved to hide me.
ちょっとな、夜の散歩だ。お前は巡察から戻ってきたところか？
ああ、最近老師たちが妙な動きを見せているという報告を受けた。近々何か起こるかもしれん。佐野もなるべく一人では出歩かぬよう気をつけた方がいい。
With that said, Saito turned and walked off. As far as I could tell, he hadn't been able to see me behind Harada.
危ねえ危ねえ。油断大敵ってとこだな。そんじゃ、他の大使どもに見つからねえうちに中に戻ろうぜ。
Okay. We managed to sneak back to my room without anyone else noticing.
いきなり連れ出したりしちまってすまなかったな。
Oh no, thank you for thinking of me. He didn't respond, just looked out toward the porch.
土方さんは大使どもから鬼副長なんて言われてるけどよ。ああ見えて意外と苦労人でな。その分頭が切れて細かいことにまでよく気がつく。理不尽なことは絶対にしねえ人だ。そんな土方さんがお前をここに飼い殺しにしてるのには何か理由があるはずだ。
When he turned and looked into my eyes, his expression was flat and cold.
ただし、もしお前が勝手な真似をしたら、あの人はとことん冷酷な判断を下すだろう。
Man, everyone is so damn hot and cold with Chizuru. It's like, hey, let's get along, except we'll kill you.
土方さんに限らず、ここにいる連中はみんなそうだ。もちろん、俺だってためらわねえよ。必要となりゃ、いつでも槍を振るうさ。お前も、それだけは頭に叩き込んどいてくれ。
Okay.
んじゃあ、あんまり夜更かしさせて、明日寝坊させんのもなんだし。俺
Good night. Sorry, I cut him off. He turned with a nod and strode out of my room. My spear is always ready. He was certainly scary, but he'd taken me outside, something that could have gotten both of us in trouble, just to cheer me up. When we encountered Saito, he'd made sure I wasn't spotted. He spends a lot of time saying frightening things, but I think under all that, he's a good person. That was the last thought that passed through my mind as I crawled into my bed and fell asleep. Saving system data. Alright, that one was much shorter. If there's another love one up next, I'll do that. But if there's another, like, chapter one... Boom! Ah, no! There's another chapter. No! Well, this is gonna take longer than I thought it would. Lordy. Oh, name. Oh, you could change it. Never mind. Default. I thought, like, you could search by name. Because we're gonna do chapter 3, Oh, no, okay, so after chapter 3, then it just goes into the dudes themselves, and then we're going all the way. Not that far. But it looks like you have to unlock them first. Well, at least I did these. Yeah, okay. Well, we did chapter 1. I'll read these things just for funsies. After interrogating a Choshu spy, the Shinsengumi learns that a group of Imperial nationalists will be meeting at the Ikeda Inn. They mount a raid which becomes the Battle of Ikeda Inn. During the battle, Okita and Todo are seriously wounded by mysterious, powerful foes. That was in July. Then in August, during the Hamaguri Rebellion, the Shinsengumi are given orders by the Aizu domain to help repel the Choshu rebels who are attempting to take the Imperial Palace. However, upon arriving, they are treated poorly by the warriors already there, and are not given a chance to fight. Previously injured Shinsengumi soldiers are ordered to remain at headquarters. These question marks are from probably the other characters. So this game's gonna last longer than I thought, because I was gonna start a new game next week, but I didn't realize that these were gonna be long. So we'll do chapter 2 next week, which has an adventure and a memories of love. But maybe it won't be as long. We'll figure it out. Anyway, sorry it's a little short tonight, but I did not know these were as long as they actually were. That's my bad. So we're gonna end on a screenshot. Ooh, wait. Is the other gallery from the thing I just did? Oh, it is. Alright, let's... Others. We're gonna end... I don't want to end on this, but it is funny. Look at that cat! Alright, we're gonna end on our boy toy of the times. Boop, boop. But we're gonna... Ooh, how about that one? There we go. So yeah, that is the first part of the stories part of the Hakuoki stories of the Shinsengumi. Like I said, these are longer than I thought. I thought they would all just be like the memories of love. But it's nice that the actual like chapter ones are filling in some of the details. Because like I said, like it's like, hey, it's a year later. She's still with them doing nothing. But now we get to see a little bit of what goes on. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hopefully it gets more romantic in the next few chapters. Because like, they're still kind of bitches to her right now. Being all like, we're gonna kill you. So yeah, short one tonight. We'll get to more stories next week. Thanks for listening, watching, just clicking on the link. I don't know. For some reason, like a couple of the videos in this series on YouTube have like way more views than I thought possible. But I'm like almost like 50 to 70% sure that people are clicking on it and then hearing me actually narrate and then just not watching the rest of the video. Which is fine. Everyone should be like, everyone has their own opinions. Some people like narration, some people don't. Honestly, I don't even know if I would want to watch a narrated video, but I really like reading the scripting. So I'm doing this for me. So if you happen to also enjoy it, that's awesome. Thank you. And if you happen to just click on the link, at least you didn't leave a dislike. So thank you for that too. Anyway, that's the end. Again, thanks for listening, watching, being cool, and see you for the next stories.